Quick shout out to my patrons. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey y'all, it's Kate from Literary Apothecary, and welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. This week is July 9th to the 16th. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Before I talk about what I'm going to read to start this week, I've got some book mail here. This is from my lovely friend Stacy out in Finland. I have no idea what it is, but she says it's going to be a future buddy read for us. So I can't wait to see what it is. Stacy is amazing. She was my patron of the month last month, and let's just see what it is because I'm dying to know. Ooh, I love this color. Upon a Burning Throne, The Burnt Empire Saga, Book 1 by Ashcock K. Banker. This is a huge book, but y'all look at that. I love that cover. It is so pretty. I love the purples with the green. Welcome to the Burnt Empire. Readers will be able to pull themselves away from the layered storylines and well-developed characters. In a world where demigods and demons walk among mortals, the emperor of the vast burnt empire has died, leaving a turbulent realm without an emperor. Two young princes, Edri and Sveit, are in line to rule, but birthright does not guarantee inheritance, for any successor must sit upon the legendary burning throne and pass the test of fire. Imbued with dark sorceries, the throne is a crucible, one that incinerates the unworthy. Edri and Sveit pass the test and are declared heirs to the empire, but there's another with a claim to power, another who also survives, a girl from an outlying kingdom. When this girl, whose father is the powerful demon lord Jarson, is denied her claim by the interim leaders, Jarson declares war, vowing to tear the burnt empire apart, leaving the young princes Edri and Sveit to rule a shattered realm embroiled in rebellion and chaos. This sounds absolutely amazing. The author is Indian. I can't wait to read this whenever we're going to read this, Stacy. Thank you so much for sending this to me. I just absolutely love that cover. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's talk about the books that I'm going to be reading starting this week off, this weekend. I'm hoping to finish up Flowers in the Attic. I am also going to be working on Falkner and The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. That's what I'll be reading as of right now for this weekend to start this week off. I may, depending on what happens, who knows, I may get started on more books before Monday starts. But that's it for now, and I'll chat with you all again soon. Bye. Hey y'all, so sorry if it looks a little bit dark here. It's been raining like all day here, and which is great because it's cooled it down and it's washing away all of that pollen, but it also makes it a lot darker. So sorry if this video looks a little bit dark. Also, sorry if you hear like random drumming in the background. One of my neighbors has been practicing the drums lately, and I thought he had stopped for the day. Assuming it's a he. It could be a she. I don't know who it is, actually. I just hear it. I thought they were done for the day, so I sat down to film. And then as soon as I turned the camera on record, it started up again. So if you hear that drumming in the background, you're not hearing noises, and I apologize. So let's get on with it. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to some of our new subscribers, especially to Book Time with Elvis and Grandmaster UV. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. It really means the world to me because without you guys, I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. So thank you, thank you, thank you for subscribing. If you didn't get a chance to see it this morning, I had a absolutely fantastic chat with Helen Reig Peterson, who is the author of Waking Ursa Minor. She's currently working on book 2 right now. And I can't wait to read book 2. It was such a fun chat. I will put the link down in the description below. If you've read Waking Ursa Minor, go check it out. There is a small spoiler-free section at the beginning, so if you haven't read that book yet, you can still watch it and then just stop when we start talking about spoilers. And speaking of books that I've read, I finished a book last night actually. I had to think about it some. It just stayed with me. The ending was insane. And that book is Flowers in the Attic, which was the book I was reading from my Books My Boyfriend Gave Me series. This book was one of the weirdest books I've ever read. I think I'm settling on a 4-star because the writing was actually very good. The content was not. It was tons of warnings that need to go out if you're watching this and you think, oh, maybe I'll like that. And take a look at the content warnings. There's incest, there's rape, there's child abuse, there's sexual content. There's a lot of different content warnings, so make sure you take a look at those before you jump into this book, because I'd hate for you to jump into this and then be affected by one of those. I will have a full video coming hopefully this week on this, so stay tuned for more of my thoughts on Flowers in the Attic. But since I finished Flowers in the Attic last night, I'm going to take a break from that series. I am going to be starting on book 6 in the Kingdom Keeper series, Dark Passage, today. I can't wait to see where this story goes. If you remember, book 5 ended on an absolute cliffhanger, so I can't wait to see where this story goes. Yeah, that's my check-in for now, and I'll talk to y'all again soon. Hey y'all, so another check-in for today. First and foremost, I want to say hello and thank you to some of our new subscribers. Reading with Tatiana and Lucas Ramirez. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. It really means the world to me, because without you guys, I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, today I finished 2 books. I finished an audiobook that I started earlier this week. I've been trying to get back into the health game with walking or riding my stationary bike and using audiobooks to motivate me to do so. So I listened to a book called Managing Your Day to Day. This is kind of a book of essays, motivational essays, inspirational, how to manage your time better, basically about building better daily habits to become better, healthier, more efficient, etc., etc. I actually rated this 2.5 stars. I thought the voices for the audiobook sounded very robotic and mechanical. It sounded scripted, and I didn't get a lot of new information out of it as I was hoping to. The other book I finished today was Falkner by Mary Shelley. This one I gave 4 out of 5 stars. I thought the story was a great story. Occasionally at times it drifted off on tangents that got me a little lost or confused, but overall it was a great storyline. Fantastic characters, as Mary Shelley always has. 4 out of 5 stars for Falkner, and I can't wait to start my next Mary Shelley book. That will be soon. I have to get through a couple more books on my TBR before I can get back to the books I'm behind on. But I only have, so because I finished Falkner, then I moved on to my next ebook, which is Blue Haven by Lisa King, and this is part of a book tour held by Eric at Break Even Books. And this is a sci-fi thriller about this, I think, resort or like set of condos in paradise, and there's like only 5 people there, and our main character finds this mysterious journal in the condo that she moves into. And so far I'm only 2 chapters in, but I really enjoy the atmosphere that it's setting. Both like, you know, the paradise feel, but also like there's something going on here. There's something that we're not being told. So I can't wait to read this further into this book. And that leaves me only one last book on my July TBR. Once I finish that book, I will be going back to the books that I have not gotten to in previous months, and I'm not sure if I'm just going to start from the very first, the oldest book on my TBR, or do what I usually do and number them and have people pick. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. I still have some time to decide, so we'll see. But anyways, that's my check-in for now, and I'll check in with y'all again soon. Bye. Hey, also one last check-in for this week. Quick announcement. This Saturday, the 16th, July 16th, I'll be on a live show on Evie's channel at She Was Only Evie. I'll link Evie's channel down below. At 3 p.m., we're going to be talking about A Bad Business by Fyodor Dostoevsky. This was the collection of short stories by Dostoevsky that I've been reading on the Codex Cantinas Discord. It'll be Evie and Stephanie, Mr. Richards Reads, and Christy Lewis Dostoevsky in space, and Tiffany at A Beautiful Minute. I am so excited to talk about these stories with everyone because this was such a great collection of stories. So that is this Saturday at 3 p.m. By the time you see this, it'll be the same day if you're watching this as it comes out. If you watch this later on, I will link the video down below so that way you can watch the playback of this if you're interested. So to round out this week's reading this weekend, I will be reading Dark Passage, which is book 6 in the Kingdom Keepers series. The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager, which is the Wine and Crime book of the month for Leslie the Nerdy Narratives Book Club. Blue Haven, which is the book that I'm reading for a book tour held by Eric at Break Even Books. And The Good Neighbor audiobook, which I started this morning. I needed another audiobook, and so I'm just kind of going through my Audible library and going from oldest to, I guess, newest ones that I have in my library and just checking them off as I listen to them. I'm enjoying all of these reads so far. And so Dark Passage is, a typical Kingdom Keepers book. This is kind of like book 5 in part 2 because it's all still the same problems, the same location and everything. So that's a little different than the other books. The Last Time I Lied and Blue Haven both feel like they're these spooky thriller books. Blue Haven is also supposedly a sci-fi thriller, so I'm interested to see where this sci-fi comes in, because right now I'm not really feeling sci-fi, but it is classified as a sci-fi thriller, so I'm interested to see where that comes in. And then The Good Neighbor is the biography of Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, and it's narrated by LeVar Burton. So I didn't necessarily grow up on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, although I know a lot of people did and absolutely loved him. But I grew up on LeVar Burton and Reading Rainbow, and I just love listening to him read stories. I listen to his podcast, LeVar Burton Reads, all the time, which is basically like Reading Rainbow for adults. He reads short sci-fi, short stories, I think a little bit of fantasy, but mostly sci-fi for adults, short stories. He'll talk about it first, and then he'll read the story, and then he'll talk about it at the end. And at the beginning, before he starts reading each story, he says, "Now, take a deep breath and let it out, and let's begin." And just his voice, the tone of his voice is just so relaxing to me. I love it. So I'm really enjoying this book and learning so much about Mr. Rogers I didn't know about. So that's what I'll be reading this weekend. Let me know in the comments below what you all will be reading, what your favorite book you read this past week was. Keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.